What is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here with a video. Last night was AEW's All Out. I can honestly tell you I did not make it home in time in order to buy the pay-per-view. It was something that I was hoping to get. I just didn't feel like joining in once it had already started. I wish that my softball games honestly had ended a little bit earlier, so I could have been home to enjoy it, but also because of the fact that Costco is closed today. I needed dog food. I had to head over there before they closed in order to hit them up. But man, what a banger of a show. Honestly, if you don't really follow wrestling on the internet and you only watch the two television shows as well as the pay-per-views, you got a banger of a show that made AEW look like it is going in the right direction. Man, if you follow wrestling on the internet, once that show is over, the fireworks really began. I know that when I made a video talking about Moxley versus Punk, the title change that happened on television, it was kind of shocking. The match only goes a matter of a few minutes. They play up the story of CM Punk's broken foot, yet he comes back at the last minute, challenges Moxley for a rematch at All Out, and you basically on a Friday have your main event booked for a Sunday pay-per-view. To me, honestly, that might have been the plan the whole time, but it honestly really reminds me of old school WCW from the years 2000 and early 2001, where basically they told you, hey, we're having a pay-per-view on Sunday. And they really didn't tell us much of anything else. If you were watching television week in and week out, you could kind of guess what you think the card is going to be. But I don't know if it was a mix of just not knowing what talent was going to show up at the show, not knowing what talent was going to go along with what finishes, how they were going to book what shows. It was just a clusterfuck of WCW. But I guess we sort of thought that's what the main event was going to be. It's an AEW pay-per-view. They have to have an AEW championship match, you would think. But you never know what's going down. But this video is mostly going to be about the post-show antics of CM Punk. I know a lot of people probably woke up, saw CM Punk trending, and thought that it was mostly going to be that people were still talking about the championship match. But this was about the media scrum that was done after the show ended, where it's set up like a press conference. A lot of times I was surprised to see that Tony Khan wasn't sitting at the table. Most of these media scrums, Tony Khan is right there up front, right next to the talent that they're talking to. And even if the question is asked in the talent's direction, just butts in with an answer. It's almost like he's trying to get the spotlight on what is going down in AEW. But then again, if it's on his dime, let him do, basically whatever the hell he wants to. But CM Punk just got basically asked a question, and he went off about Colt Cabana, brought up Colt Cabana's mom, didn't even talk about Colt Cabana using Colt Cabana, brought up his real name, used his mom's real name, and then transferred that into basically talking about Adam Page. I can tell you this much, I don't know if Adam Page is really Adam Page's name. But I thought it was really weird that he would use Colt's and Colt's mom's name and then use that to go right into talking about the Elite and Adam Page running his mouth on a show. I think that honestly you can use what Chris Jericho said in his post-match interview, where he basically talked about he hopes that, you know, a lot of the stories coming out about people wanting to leave AEW realize the freedom that they have there, and maybe that it can be used against him. Is that, you know, AEW doesn't really have writers that hand scripts to the wrestlers. They get to go out there and they plan their own promos. And I think this is the first real time that something is blown up in the face of the company for doing that. WWE hands a script. It basically says to some guys to use bullet points if they don't trust them as much. They haven't been in the business as long. They're supposed to go out there and do it word for word. I think that more than likely when CM Punk and Adam Page were building up their promo in the ring to lead to their pay-per-view match, maybe Adam Page said something that in his mind at that moment was going to be the selling point for their match, that people were going to be sitting at home and say, you know what, this has got me. I am buying this pay-per-view because I want to see this match. And obviously what he said struck a chord with CM Punk, and he is holding it against him to the point where you know, he's cutting his own promos thinking that Adam Page went into business for himself. I don't know if they just didn't talk it out before they went out there, or if he just changed what he was going to say. I give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't think that this is a full-on civil war inside of ECW of the Elite versus CM Punk, because I think that if they didn't want CM Punk there, they wouldn't be there. And if they didn't want CM Punk there, they more than likely probably could have made it where CM Punk wasn't there to begin with. If you go back in time, when they were trying to sign CM Punk in the early days of AEW, it was, you know, CM Punk publicly tweeted out the fact that he didn't like the fact that they sent him a contract offer via text, that they didn't try and wine him, dine him, or call him, or do it in person. He felt that was an insult, and maybe that's what started the bitter words between them. But now there's stories coming out. We've already had, you know, the Sammy versus Eddie Kingston fight backstage. Now there's rumors coming out that there was an altercation. Doesn't mean that there was a fight with fists thrown. It could have just been yelling back and forth each other between the Young Bucks and CM Punk, who basically CM Punk said there's too many EVPs in there and that basically couldn't run a target. It's just, I don't know. Part of me thinks that the Colt Cabana stuff is real life CM Punk throwing stuff out there because he's just sick and tired of dealing with it. You saw the way that he reacted when somebody in the stands chanted Colt Cabana's name during one of his promos. But I also think that they're building up CM Punk versus Adam Page as a rematch that people want to see. I think that they're trying to build business there and you know, cross those lines. I've honestly thought that what they're doing with CM Punk in AEW is that they're, you know, trying to turn him into a heel. AEW you know, was held in Chicago. I don't think that Chicago is going to treat him like a heel, so I think it's almost going to be looked at as like a Bret Hart Canada versus United States, where basically, you know, United States booed Bret Hart like crazy, and every time Bret Hart went to Canada, you know, he was treated as a hero. And I think that that's honestly just the same that they're doing here. I think that we go town to town from here on out. Punk will be treated as he is a heel, moved out of the building, and looked at as he's one of the best guys in the company. But just the backstage drama crap coming out of AEW, they got to find a way to fix that. Whether that's, you know, Tony Khan bringing somebody in to that kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like that, well, I guess that's what Christopher Daniels' job is, but maybe somebody, shit. It's not employee relations, kind of like a human resources guy, I guess you can say. But they believe that he's got more pull in the game. That when he says something, that's the way it's gonna be. And these guys, will quit running around because they don't want to lose the job that they have there. So, we'll see what's going down. Peace out, everybody. Crazy time.